So guys, I had a chance to visit the Derwent booth while I was at the International Art Materials Trade Association in New Orleans, Louisiana, and I got to see what they're excited about and what is coming out next year. And I am just so ready to share this interview with you guys.
Well, in that case, something like the Coloursoft range is going to be ideal. It is wonderfully soft, it is really accessible in terms of its price point, but importantly, it's now available in 150 colours.
Wow, very nice. I remember when it was a newer product and there just wasn't as large a range.
Yeah, so we were very careful with the way we selected it into market.
Yeah.
Always making sure that the colour ranges were right for the artist's needs. But now, with the brand new 150 at the bottom,
Nice.
it is, it's been one of our most successful ranges, which is great. And we know that people are a bit more, I guess, considerate of how much money they're putting into their art supplies.
Yes.
So it's kind of really hitting like that right button at the moment. But importantly, it's fully available in the market from the summer.
Fantastic. So they'll start seeing these in stores in the US this summer. Wow, nice.
Yeah, so there's various ways that retailers can buy, either direct from Derwent or through our wholesale routes. So depending on whether they want the big stuff or the small stuff, they can get hold of it. But that's not the only major launch this year. We've also got
seeing
the
some other
watercolor
exciting
sets.
stuff. Yeah, y'all have really expanded that line. I knew y'all had like the double palette and the palette 1, palette 2, and the graphitin and the charcoal ones and the sketcher set. So these are like twice as big.
Yeah, let me grab the bits I've just been playing around with.
Yes.
Okay.
And then there's some samples over here too.
Oh yeah, so I'll come to this in a moment, but basically we've obviously recognised over the last 5, 6, 7 years that the traditional pencil artist, which is where the Derwent heritage is no longer just a pencil artist. So the last data showed us that there was something crazy like 2.8 brands of pencil in that portfolio of the artist. And that's great, but it was no longer just pencils, it was also a bit of paint, a bit of pastel.
Yes, everyone's mixed media now.
So for that reason, we really looked at the success of Inktense, which is our biggest brand in the US.
Yes.
And we looked at how well the pencils were developing. So we took it to 100.
Yeah, y'all introduced some new colors. These are great new colors.
So that was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's now fully available. We've had the Inktense blocks, which we've actually got to 72 colours. This is just a smaller one, but it's 72 of those. And then last year we launched into the XL blocks as well. So when we consider that mixed media artists here, they can now have pencils and small blocks.
Oh, those are really nice.
Oh, these are great.
They're very big too.
Really good.
So if you like to work larger, these are going to help you like really cover that paper.
Exactly. And importantly, it's a similar formulation here, so it completely ties into Inktense 1, 2, and the 24.
Yeah.
So it's that whole mixed media artist. And again, taking those concepts into something like the graphitin range of pencils, which we launched the paints for. Then we launched the XL blocks for.
Oh.
You've now got the mixed media feel there, as you have in tinted charcoal with tinted charcoal paints, blocks, and there's pencils as well. So it truly is it's evolved.
Yeah, I've watched your company really grow over the past like 15 years for what kind of products you guys offer, because I'm a watercolor comic artist and I love the Inktense with watercolor comics because they're indelible. Yeah. So to see you guys introduce even more products onto the market in different, like it's the same great indelibility, but it's in a different form factor that might be easier. Like I've developed a lot of arthritis in my hands, so the pencils are not so easy for me, but the paints or the blocks are a little bit easier.
Absolutely. And we've got artists going from all sorts of demographics, in particular young to old in terms of age. We need something that they can all find accessible. Yeah. And everyone has a different preference, we get that. So even people taking the small half pans out of these and using those to draw with, it all happens.
You can do that,
So
that's really cool.
Certainly for what you're looking for, the Coloursoft range, I think, for all of that kind of colouring book.
Are these kind of like the Coloursoft? Because y'all's Colorsofts were so good and so buttery. Are these kind of an evolution on that?
This is, if I was to draw you a picture, one step to the right of Coloursoft. So Coloursoft is, without a doubt, the softest fine art colour pencil. This is a step to the right, which is not so soft, still wonderfully soft, not so soft. But it's a thinner barrel. It's good for a bit more detail.
Okay. Yeah, because that's kind of the thing with the Coloursoft is that they would get blunted rather quickly.
They would. So, I mean, this is the demonstration version only, so it's got a bit of glue on it, but it's still the same strip inside. this is an Inktense pencil,
Yeah.
but the Coloursoft barrel is the same width as that.
Yeah.
So this profile here, the chroma flow compared to it, again, it makes it a bit more accessible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a different proposition, so it appeals to different people. This is a bit more, what I would say, modern,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the Coloursoft is, it actually takes twice as long to make it. So this is certainly a much more kind of eco-friendly range as well.
Right.
Sure.
And it's also going to make it more accessible to more people because during the pandemic, there was a lot of shortages for things because people were discovering all these new hobbies that they fell in love with.
Yeah, they were.
So this will allow you to kind of keep up with the demand as more people discover art.
Absolutely.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Well, we have a wonderful portfolio, and this is just a real snapshot of it.
Yeah.
So we have the broadest range of fine art solutions. What we're looking at is making sure that people have access to the ones that are really kind of capturing people's imagination at the moment.
Yeah.
So chroma flow is one, Inktense is another, and then of course light fast all
Well,
the way.
on the note of Inktense, dyers will actually use Inktense as part of like fabric dyeing
Correct,
as
yeah.
part of their
Yes.
process.
Yes,
So
yes,
it
we
gets
will.
really multimedia.
Oh yeah. This is for me the most versatile format there is.
Yeah.
Something that can be used on multiple surfaces. It can be used wet or dry as well. It's actually a
Yeah,
great dry
yeah.
color solution, but obviously activated with water.
And then I know it's not a watercolor pencil, but it's a water media pencil, and it delivers so much more color, I've found, than a lot of the watercolor pencils that are on the market. So that's why I like
Is that
using
because
it.
of the binders or something?
That's a good question.
Yeah, so it's a mixture of the way the pigments and the binders and the clays are put together, but it's so highly pigmented that it's a bit like that kind of sequence.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the ratios, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's so rich,
Yeah.
and that gives it that permanence as well. So yeah, it's really phenomenal. I think in terms of real innovation, this is an older formulation now, but it's still up there
Yeah.
with the best.
Yeah.
There's nothing else like it on the market.
And it's still one of the not watercolor pencils that I recommend the most to people.
Absolutely, and if people want to find out more, I mean, this is just an in-store demonstration of it. But
Oh, very cool.
a lot of the media we have online and on the website
Yes.
is educational, which helps people understand what and how it can be used.
Yeah.
Certainly by different formats, like as well, not just pencils.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us and show us what's new and exciting, because I love being able to share the inside scoop with my viewers and give them an idea of what to look for and what to ask their stores for. If they see it and they love it, to just ask their store and they can order it for them.
Absolutely, you can find us basically wherever you want to find us.
Yeah,
If you
y'all
can't
are
find us, just
everywhere.
get in touch.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much.
And the idea of the 150 set is it's going to be at a more economical price, like per pencil for.
Yeah, so if you consider that, I mean, we do this in the 100 as well, but if you consider that against the other pencil ranges, it is a bit more affordable in price.
Yeah.
And again, we've engineered
So
it to
if you're
allow that.
starting a set from
Absolutely.
brand new, it would be a good choice economically to go with a
Exactly.
150
So
set.
you'll
Yeah.
find it in probably a wider distribution of stores as well. So not just
Oh,
fine
okay.
art stores,
Mhm.
but probably more hobby as well,
Mhm.
because that price point allows it to be there. It's
Yeah.
certainly not mass market. It's
Right.
not going to be in kind of major multiple mass retailers, but it's going to be in all the good places where all your artists will shop.
Nice.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
It was so nice of him to spend so much time talking to us and explaining things to us. And I didn't get this on camera because it happened after the interview, but I want to tell you guys about it. And if you watch my NAMTA vlog, you probably know. But for those of you who like Derwent Inktense, whether it's the watercolor pencils or the Inktense blocks or the pans, and I know they're not technically watercolor pencils, I should say water media and water soluble pencils. Forgive me, it is an India ink base. They are releasing Derwent watercolors, which are going to have many of the same properties as traditional watercolors at the price point that you guys are familiar with from Inktense, but they're going to be reworkable. So if you like Inktense and you like the colors and you're used to using it, but you do wish you could do traditional watercolor techniques such as lifting, the new Derwent watercolors will be able to do that for you, which is really exciting. I got to play around with them just a little bit. I wish I had footage of that. Sadly, I don't. I was having too much fun and I forgot to pull out my camera, but I hope to check them out and share that with you guys. They also have revised their water brushes. They are larger and they hold a lot more water. So if you have arthritis, if you have hand health issues, they may be more comfortable for you. And I do actually have a video about those coming out. So if you like using water brushes, but they're a little bit leaky or they don't carry as much water as you would like, or you have a hard time traveling with them, keep an eye out for that. Speaking of keeping an eye out, if you are new here, make sure you click the subscribe button and hit the bell notification to let YouTube know that you want to see more from me. If you are looking for more inside scoop about what's coming out with art supplies in 2024 and 2025, I did a bunch of interviews that I have been sharing here to the channel. We talked to Holbein recently, and then before that we talked to Schiffer and to Rocky Nook. We have talked to Colarts, and we talked to Fila. So if you are into the inside scoop of art supplies, make sure you check those videos out as well. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing you guys again really soon. And hopefully this was helpful in helping you guys make art a habit. Bye guys!